Well, good morning, fellow gardeners. I'm Kelly, aka K2, and this is K2 Garden Adventure, my channel dedicated to me building my dream gardens and urban farmstead here on the beautiful central coast of California, Zone 9B. So, we've been getting so much rain. We've got over 4 inches over the last 5 days, which is a lot of rain for us. It's supposed to be like the wettest November in California since '85 or something. So never ever gonna complain about the rain here in California because we desperately need it always. But it's made it a little bit difficult to do anything outside for the last 5 days. So I have a little bit of sun now. So I want to show you what I'm gonna hope to do and finish up some projects. So let me. All right. So I bought these about a week ago, and these are supposed to fill out the southern patio cottage garden. Just getting some more color. Snapdragons do really beautiful. And then I also got stock, which I think are just gorgeous colors, with some of those magentas and purples, and they also smell real nice. So I'm gonna try to get those in the ground and just give it some more color. The other thing that I did, which I just really love, so I moved. I was moving some stuff around up here, got the big lion's tail tree relocated to the back, and then moved some other stuff around. But I had some extra of these little border blocks, and I wanted to put in a path to make it easier to get to the back because this is a fairly deep bed. And so I had the idea, I was like, wait a second, if I put these like in a row of two, it'll make like a little path that goes through here, and it ended up looking really nice. And I'm just really loving it. So what I want to do is, like I said, get those other plants in the ground here, and then I can get in some wood mulch, and this bed should be looking really good. I'm gonna put, like I said, we got the snapdragons and the stock. I did get one more. I did swap out a dead saffron finch with a new one, so that's in there. Anyways, got lots and lots of stuff to do up here in this front bed, and then we also have a couple of more things that I want to get planted while I'm working out here in front. I've just absolutely fallen in love with this new plant. It is a it's Velvet Elvis plectranthus, and it's a shade. It's a shade plant. So I want to put these three. I already put three over there in Cedar Grove, underneath the big Theodore cedar tree. Isn't that just absolutely gorgeous tree? But I wanted to put three over here so I can get to see how beautiful these flowers are every day. So the idea I had was to kind of make a little row right along here. Now, it's going to be a little bit tricky because this Newport cherry plum tree has already lost most of its leaves, but I'm hoping that the branches will give it enough shade for right here. Eventually, this hydrangea should get taller, and I've got some Japanese maples, and there's some other hydrangeas that should get tall up there. Anyways, it'll be an experiment. We'll see how it goes. But that's the idea, is to get those three right in here, and then I'm going to move this little ukara, and I think, the plan was to move the ukara and the this beautiful fern over a little bit. So anyways, that's the plan for those. I might change my mind before I actually do it, but that was my original thought process. And then I also got some more of these really beautiful. I'd never seen these. These are a type of primrose, but they're really beautiful, and they're a little bit taller. But my plan was to just put those three right around there, just kind of fill in some of those gaps. And thought I had one more thing to do. Oh yeah. Right here, walked right by it. And then over here, I wanted to get this really gorgeous. This is called Fire Alarm. it's an ukara or coral bell. And I want to put it right here and then move this cherry drop back a little bit. So the drift will go like this, and then we'll have the fire alarm right there. So anyways, that's the plan. So let me get stuff in the ground and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so making progress. Got all three of the Plectranthus in here, and wow, that just looks absolutely beautiful. Hopefully it's not too sunny, but you know, we can, oh look, we already got the bees have found it. Looks like it's a native bee in there. Anyways, got those in. Move this ukara over here, and this one's a really beautiful one. I think it's a wild berry or one of the ice ones maybe, because it's got sort of that silver on top. Looking really beautiful right next to this, gosh, which one is this? Is this the pearl? Yeah, black pearl. And then I've got the dressed up evening gown right here, which is almost pure black, just really beautiful. And I just added a prom dress, that chartreuse green color one there. So anyways, this ukara will go really nice there. Anyways, so I got that done. Got the cherry drop coleus moved. Got this fire alarm. I think it was called fire alarm, right? Fire alarm, yeah, this ukara in there. And I'm really loving the color. Got the red in there. Really makes the, pulls out the red in the cherry drop. And then there's, I think, the Sedona back there. Anyways, right here I've got the holes dug. And if you're familiar with my channel, you know, I have really sandy soil here close to the beach. We're just a couple miles from the Pacific Ocean here, which gives us our amazing microclimate, but it also means we have really sandy soil. So I dig the hole, throw a little all-purpose garden soil in there as an amendment. And then I throw some, I've just sort of started using Hollytone for everything. The new one actually has biotone built in. So I don't bother buying biotone separately anymore because that's really expensive anyways. And like I said, after years of hard water, this all used to be grass. If you look at old photos of this place that was built in the 80s, all those years of hard water really made the soil very alkaline, like pushing almost 8. So anyways, definitely for things like my azaleas and camellias and gardenias really struggle here. I use the Hollytone also. I really want to have some blue hydrangeas, so that's a real struggle to get the soil acidity down for those. But anyways, I throw some of that in there, and then I got to put these in. I have really, really bad gophers, and so I just drop these in these little mesh gopher cages, and let me put those 3 in. And then for drip, I'm just going to run a little 1/4 inch pre-irrigated drip line just all up around here off the 1/2 inch line there. And that should give plenty of water. Probably make the this really gorgeous Cape Harris magnolia tree. Look at how glossy those leaves are. That is just insane. Totally looks fake, but it's real. Should make that happy even as it gets a little bit bigger. Anyway, so enough yapping. Let me get this all finished up for you and show you what it looks like. Okay, so the primrose are in, and these are called Primula obconica dark blue. It's a different kind of primrose, evidently. It's really beautiful, and it looks like it gets a little bit taller. One of my issues with other primrose is, although they come in gorgeous colors, they don't grow very tall, so they're very easily overrun by other flowers and stuff. Anyways, so I've got these 3 dark blue primulas or primrose obconicas in, and I had an extra. What I decided to do is, instead of cutting this one, I just attached it to the 1/2 inch there, and it's going to run around and get all 3 of those. But then over here I have sort of this trio of limelight primes and this cherry drop that I just moved. And so the limelight primes have adjustable drippers, but they're about to go into dormancy in winter. here in my zone, it's kind of interesting. Oak leaves, serratas, and macrophyllus don't necessarily go dormant. In fact, some of them will just continue to bloom and push out new leaves all winter. But the panicles and the smooth leaves, hydrangeas here, at least last year, I only have 1 year, they went ahead and went dormant and lost their leaves. And so I know they need a lot less water. So I figure with just getting this little 1/2-inch drip line in there, that should give them plenty of water to, keeping the soil just, slightly damp throughout the winter so the roots don't dry out. And then in the spring, as they start to push out lots of big blooms and new leaves, I can open those adjustable drippers back up and give them the extra water that they need. And then I just reconnected it down here to the 1/2-inch line. So also saved me some drip line work, I think, doing that. I'll come in here with some stakes and get it all down. And then I'm gonna come in with more mulch over this whole area, especially with the crazy rain we've got this past 5 days. It's washed away some of the bark mulch. But anyways, so those are in. Now the next thing, and here just a shot of just how beautiful those dark blue or purple primrose look. Over here, next thing I want to do, I want to go ahead and move. This is a society garlic, and I want to move it over here in front of this Japanese maple. I've got 2 other ones here, and that'll just, this is sort of a blank spot, and I'm like, oh, that will look great right here. Have a little row of the society garlics. This is my Twombly's Red Sentinel. It's supposed to grow tall and stay skinny. Anyways, put a society garlic there, match those other 2. And then with that moved out of the way, Proven Winners Direct, they had a great sale, end of year sale type stuff. And so I got a trio of some coleus. So I've got a, oh goodness, this is Newly Noir. This is this new black, Newly Noir, Wicked Witch, and Lime Time. Anyways, and so I'm going to put those in a little cluster right here in this blank area where the society garlic was. And then I've got these 6 Dichondra Silver Falls that I'm going to add to the 2 new hanging baskets that I put up over there. So let me get started on this next round of stuff. Okay, so I got the society garlic over here, and one thing that's cool about society garlic is it multiplies and just forms additional bulbs off to the side. And so I grabbed a couple off of here and a few off the largest one on the end, and planted 3 more in a little drift over here. So society garlic, besides being beautiful, it's got sort of a silvery color and it's variegated with the white stripes, makes beautiful sort of light purple flowers. But the other thing is because it's garlic, the smell, gophers and moles don't like it. And so it helps protect the plants around it. And because of that, because they don't go after it, I don't put it in gopher cages, which allows it to continue to multiply. And then you can continue to just, split off a couple of bulbs and go grow it in other places around your garden. So again, little mini drift here, which fills in some of this blank space. Still leaves me a spot right here where I can put something. And then I really, really like those 3 kind of along the walkway with that texture kind of leading your eyes along the trail. And then now I've got my holes dug for my 3 coleus. I'm going to put them right in here. Again, standard, put a little bit of the all-purpose garden soil. That has some fertilizer mixed in. and then put in some hollytone, and then coleus, you definitely got to put some cages on. The other thing I got to remember to do is just cover the area all around them with sluggo, because yeah, the coleus and hostas are just about the favorite foods of slugs and snails. And I had such a problem here. I had all these dwarf pittosporums, like this guy here and that guy over there, and there were literally hundreds and hundreds of snails and slugs in each of those. And it's, you know, I've spent so much money on snail bait, but it's a never-ending battle. So between the slugs and snails and the gophers, you can get really discouraged here sometimes, but then you just look at how beautiful everything is, like those incrediballs that I planted this year and are looking amazing and still blooming with fresh blooms into November, right? So that all kind of makes it worth it. Anyways, let me get this finished up so I can go get those Dichondra silver falls planted in their the new hanging baskets. Well, just to show you how crazy the weather is here, it's hailing right now in mid-November here on the central coast of California with the sun shining, because, you know, that makes sense. Anyways, I think the silver falls we want to add to these hanging planters is just going to have to wait till after it stops hailing, because, you know, getting hit with terminal velocity ice is not my favorite thing. Anyways, we'll see you hopefully in a little bit when this stops.